And now Geek Domo performs a selected work from Henry V by William Shakespeare.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more, or close up the wall with our English dead. In peace there is nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility, but when the blast of war blows in our ears, then intimate the actions of a tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favored rage, then lend the eye to a terrible aspect. Let pry through the portage of the head like a brass cannon, let brow overwhelm it. Coming up today on Geek Domo, we're going to talk about rallying calls. So what are rallying calls? Well, rallying calls are something similar to public quest. And public quest, rallying calls, however you want to call it, basically it is a quest system that allows many people to be able to build things, do things together for an ultimate goal. The benefit of a rally call is that many people can enjoy the quest together, so you can work together as a team, and everybody gets loot, money, experience, whatever it is that they're giving away for completing the rally call. Now, the rallying call on EverQuest Next will be a little different than most. It's going to take a long time to do. Now, some of you might remember when AQ was being released on World of Warcraft, everybody had to gather up cloth and take it to their major city and drop it off. And if enough cloth got put together, then it made the quest open up to a new section. And when that new section opened up, you got to do something else. I think you had to make bandages, and you had to drop bandages off, and that sort of thing. Basically, the entire server worked together to unlock AQ. EverQuest Next is going to do something like that, but a little bit more complex. Not only does everybody on the server work together to do the ultimate goal, but the environment that's around the area of the quest will actually open up too. The example they gave during the conference was they are raising Halas. So you're going to be building Halas together. So the Combine Accord is going to call you out and say, build a city. It's going to start out as sort of a tent city. Everybody in the game has the ability to go over there and start working on it. If you don't want to work on it and you just want to go off and go in the woods and kill stuff, you can do that too. There's no requirement to do any of these public quests. So every person in the game has the ability to do these quests. It will take 2 to 3 months of real time to finish this city up. There will be triggers that enable you to move on in the quest. So when the thing starts out as a tent city, and at some point something's going to trigger to where all of a sudden it's now sort of a medium-sized town with no walls. And then something else is going to happen where the walls actually start being built. There is not a set trigger for every single server. On some servers it might be that everybody went out and killed all the goblins in the woods and that enabled the next phase. On other servers it's going to be something different. So sites like Wowhead and things are going to have a hard time tracking how exactly you're going to be unlocking each part of these quests. So you'll be able to participate in different ways. Say you're just a huge crafting person, you don't like fighting in MMOs at all, and you can't stand the thought of PvP, you would just rather sit there staring at a table and making stuff. Well, you'll go over to the rallying call point, and in that area there will be a section where you can just craft. They'll give you the materials, you just craft away and do whatever else you need to do, and that's what you'll do. And other players, they really like fighting, so they're going to be able to go out into the woods, fight goblins, push back all the bad things in the area, sort of pacify things in that area. That's what they like to do. Some people don't like to do either one of those things, and maybe they just like to gather. Some people like to pick flowers. So that's what they'll do. They'll go out and gather wood, they'll gather stone, they'll go dig in the mine, whatever. Each phase will unlock something new, and one of the phases that will get unlocked is like the quarry phase. So you'll go and quarry rock. And down in the tunnels, as you're quarrying this rock out, you might unlock an area that there is a ton of really crazy monsters, and so the people that really like to fight, they'll go down there and they'll fight those monsters and do all of that. Basically, they'll be assigned to clear out the tunnels. All the local monsters in the area will have triggers built in too. They will see that this new city's being built, and they're going to want to run out there and fight and take out the city. Maybe they'll do it in small little raiding parties, but nothing big. But they will have built into their AI that if a certain point is reached and they feel like they are not winning, then they will go out and ask their neighbors. They'll all get together and come back and fight as a siege. And the siege will happen. You guys will be able to hold back the siege, you'll fight, knock down their catapults, whatever it is that you're going to do, and that will stop the siege. Once the siege has stopped, then you're free to continue on with building it. But most likely that will end that rallying call and the city will be built, it'll be safe, everyone can move in and live there, whatever. They have said that they might knock the city down, like that you might lose the siege and the city collapses and then you start all the way over again from scratch, maybe somewhere else. Or they might just have you go to another rallying call all the way on the other side of the planet and you have to run all the way there to do the next rallying call. It's going to be very variable. Every character that is played is going to be experiencing the game in a different way than the previous characters. Say you rebuild Halas. It's done. You've completed it. The city is finished, and there is no destruction of it, and it stays there. A character starting that day will be able to walk into Halas and it's done. He wasn't there for that initial push and fight and all the other things you had to do for 3 months to get it built. So he won't experience that part of the game. You will have, because you were there from when they built Halas and you helped to defend it. You helped to quarry the rock. You built it. It's yours. Sort of. Because of this, every person's experience in the game is going to be different depending on when they start the game. Now, a really good example of this is the clone example. Say you could go out, get a clone made of you today. It is exactly identical to you in every regard, completely down to the DNA. By the time it gets to the age you are right now, it will be a completely different person. 100% guaranteed. No matter how much you think that the person's going to come out exactly the way you are, it's not going to happen. Because the world environment is different for that clone of you than you had when you were growing up. It's completely changed. 9/11 didn't happen for the clone. All the other things that sort of changed the way you are and how you view the world and everything are completely different. Or a new set of things could have come up. A new war, a big massive world war or whatever, which changes that clone's outlook on life compared to what your outlook on life was. So that's what's going to happen with your characters. Your character will have the background knowledge that Halas wasn't there before. It wasn't there to get it built. So this kind of brings up a curious thought. What if you're an altaholic, like myself, and you make 1,000 different alts? Every alt is going to have a different set of experiences that are going to change the game for them. Kind of interesting. Let's discuss it. So that is it for today. Overall, the rallying calls look really exciting. I like the play on the public quest, sort of ramping it up to a whole new level. I think it's going to be quite an enjoyable experience. So let's discuss it down below, and until next time, I will say, see ya. You're serious?
Nice.
Not zombies, just straight up Harryhausen skeletons are coming right at you.